Welcome to Allen's Firearms and Guns Plus More. And here today, another 45. This is the week of 45s. This is the Rock Island Armory, 1911 mil spec. So it follows the specifications of the military 45. Now, who is Rock Island Armory? Rock Island Armory is a brand name under the importer Armscor. Armscor owns a number of trade names. To say a few would be Rock Island Armory, American Classic, High Standard. There are a number of them. They're all made in the same place, the Philippines Arms Company. I think the major difference between them, at the beginning it had something to do with region. A lot of it has to do with their finish. The finish of the gun is what separates each of the brands, and a couple of little features, none of which are worth getting into, but there is difference in pricing. Rock Island is their least expensive brand name, but what makes it an incredible 1911 is that the Philippines Arms Company bought all the Series 70 machines that the original Colts were made on and are producing these 1911s on those original 1911 Colt machinery, Series 70 machinery. So it's being produced just like the Colts. Have they made changes? Yes. A lot of those changes on some of their guns are excellent. There are no bad things about a Rock Island Armory. These guns, I've heard Colt fanatics say, I've taken this gun out of the box and it shoots as good as my $1,000 Colt, and I only paid $500 for it. So for a gun between $450 and $550, depending on the model and size, you can get a gun just like a Colt 1911, just with a little different name on it. Now remember, it's Series 70. There's no firing pin blocking it, which makes it easier, gunsmith, to make modifications to the trigger pull. The Series 80 are a little safer as far as when you drop them, they won't go off. What I say to you is don't drop your gun. This is a great gun, and a lot of Colt shooters will tell you Series 70 was the best. Some won't. Me, I love all 1911s. They're all great, and they all have a place. But this is a gun that I just absolutely adore, and I sold a lot of them out of my shop because you get a really great gun for the money you're spending. This one even has a stainless steel barrel. Okay, let's get to the workbench. Let's field strip it, clean it, lube it, and put it back together again. Okay, here we are with the Rock Island Armory 1911 A1. Comes packaged in this box. It has foam core interior, comes with its manual, warranty card, safety instructions, comes packaged in this plastic box, comes with a plastic bag, comes with a lock. This is the test fire round, and here is the firearm. It only comes with one magazine, but that's, I guess, to keep the cost down. Now, this is a military spec model, so it has the military type sights on it. Standard front and rear military sight. Actually, the rear sight is dovetailed, I see here. The rear sight is dovetailed, and the front is going to be a post sight like most 1911. So in this case, you can actually change the sights out because they were nice enough to dovetail the rear instead of making it as part of the slide itself. First, we're going to practice some safe gun handling. We will remove the magazine, look down the barrel, look down the mag well, and it is empty. So here it is, empty and safe to work on. So the gun itself, the fit and finish is okay. I mean, you know, it's just a plain Parkerized finish. There's already a little scratch on here, so it's not like real parkerization or military parkerization. It has a extended beaver tail that is jointed in. It's got a solid hammer, solid trigger, wood grips. The grips happen to be pretty comfortable on this, so if you don't mind the plain wood grips, they're fine. Otherwise, you can have them changed out to checkered. It'll take any standard grip on this gun. It has a stainless steel barrel, which is kind of nice. Okay, so to disassemble this gun to a field strip, it's simple. Like all 1911, it has two cuts in the slide up here, a square notch cut, which is for the slide lock, and a crescent moon, half moon cut, which is for the takedown. In order to take this down, we're going to do it just like a standard 1911. We're going to press the spring cover down, and we're going to move the cam, which is this front portion right here. We're going to move that cam all the way towards, if the gun is facing like this, it's this way. So it's to the right side of the gun. I'll zoom in for this so you can actually see me doing it. So I'm going to press this in, and I'm going to flip that way with my thumb over it and holding it. So when it comes out, so remember, keeping your hand over that piece when you lift it out so the spring doesn't cross the room. So I'm going to remove the spring cap, and I'm going to turn the cam, sliding it through the springs to this position, and in this position you should be able to pull the cam straight out, just like that. Now all the tension is relieved off of the barrel and the spring. I'm going to move that half moon over the rear of the slide release. From this side, I'm just going to push that up, and it pushes this right enough to grab it and pull it out. And there you go. Now all I have to do is slide this forward, remove the spring from the rear, and now I can just push this lug forward and it will come right out the front of the barrel. It's pretty greasy, so it does actually need a good cleaning. As I use strike hold, you can find my video on strike hold on my channel, which will tell you more about it. But it's basically a one solution cleaner. You clean your gun with this, and when you're done cleaning it, you do not have to lube it afterwards. It fashions a dry lube and protectant. But for this case, I will show you how to lube the gun afterwards, because a lot of people are still using old-fashioned cleaners. You can see I'm using this wood stick wrapped around the cloth to get into these nice tight little areas. Make sure you get the slots on each side of the slide clean. I'm going to make sure I get the cuts inside of the slide that will line up with the barrel locks, because that's what stabilizes the barrel when you're shooting it. That's where it locks into when it fires, so it's a nice accurate shot. And you can see how easy it is to clean this gun. I'm just going to reach in here and clean out the hole for where the cam goes and for where the spring goes. Now, very important when you're cleaning a 1911, you want to get the battery clean. That's the front part right here, for the back of it's where the back of the cartridge is going to be laying against the metal. It's where your firing pin mechanism ejects where your firing pin comes out. You want to clean that, and you want to make sure you get underneath the extractor, because if you have dirt underneath the extractor, it builds up. Eventually you'll get a failure because it will slide over this round instead of extracting it. And you can see that line was the dirt that came out from the extractor. Take some strike hold and wipe down the outside to clean it and protect it. Now, if you're not using Stricold, do not use oil for the outside of the gun. Your best bet is to use a product like gun wax. If you can't find gun wax, you can get it online. But if for some reason you don't want to get it online, and your local store doesn't have any, you can get it. You can just use turtle wax, car wax, the soft wax. That'll work too. And that way, you put it on just like you do in your car. You wipe it off. There's nothing to get on your clothing. Make sure you get the rails on your frame inside these slots. Very important. That's where the metal rides on metal. You want your gun to operate smoothly. You want to do this. Always make sure that's clean. Make sure your inside ramp is clean. On a 1911, that's very important. This inside ramp where the bullet rides up on, all the metal. Now this is an all metal gun, so I am going to wipe down the whole outside of the gun with Stricold. Like I said, if you're not using Stricold, you want to wipe it down with gun wax. Okay, until we're ready to lube this part, it's done. So now let's get the barrel cam, the outside, the inside, the spring cover, I'm going to get inside the spring cover too. Look at all of that, it just came out of there. Okay, I'm going to take the spring off of here. If you turn it into the spring, like where the spring rings this way, if you go the opposite, it should come right off easily. If you try to do it with the spring, it'll just tighten up. Okay, so I'm going to make sure this is nice and clean. There's a lot of cosmoline in there from shipping it. So I'm going to make sure all that cosmoline is off of here. See, my fingers are getting kind of greasy from it. I'm going to put this, twist this up, and just stick this in here. Get the inside clean. Same on this side. If you want, you can get something, a wire, piece of hanger, and wrap some cloth around it and push it through. I'm going to get the spring. Now these springs only go in one direction. That doesn't mean it only will spring on one side. It means it goes back in the gun in one direction. And I'll show you how to put it back on as soon as we're done with the barrel. I'm going to wipe down the barrel. Make sure the locking lug is nice and clean. Make sure the barrel lock cam slots are nice and clean. Make sure my ramp is very clean, top and bottom. And then, also, this is really important, you want to make sure the chamber is really clean. Because the chamber, if it's dirty, when the round expands, it can get caught on that dirt and it won't extract. Because the chamber will be too tight. You know, the brass expands and then contracts. When you fire it, it expands, and right before and after the bullet leaves the chamber, it instantly contracts again. And if there's too much dirt in there, even after it contracts, it can get jammed in there. So now the barrel is nice and clean. Okay, oiling this gun. We are not going to put oil directly on the gun. Okay? The only place you might put a touch of oil, you could put a drop of oil right behind the hammer. And that's it. As far as oiling this gun, we're going to put 3 drops of oil on this cloth. Okay, I put 4. I'm going to put it on my stick. And I am going to run it down on the slide, the slots on the slide. I'm going to coat the rail on the slide. And the slot on the other side. You only have to go down 1 or 2 times. You know, once, twice. That's it. Now I'm just going to wipe down the rest of the metal with the Stricold, or I mean with the oil. Now you want to get all the metal surfaces wiped with this on the inside of the gun because you have you don't want it rusting. Now, what I did forget to put Stricold on, I'm going to do that, and then I'll hit it with the oil. Is I'm going to take a cloth on one of these, I'm going to push it down, and I'm going to clean inside the magazine well, making sure it's clean without any debris. Now I can put my oil cloth on here. Get a little oil on it and get that in there. Okay. With the oily cloth, I'm just going to go inside the gun, just like that. I just swipe on the upper part and then the lower part. Another drop of oil. I'm going to wipe down the inside of the gun, the battery. Back in here, take my stick. Now I'm not doing this because these areas need lubrication. I'm using the lubrication to seal the metal so it doesn't get rusty. Where it does need lubrication is inside these rail slots. Now we did it twice on here, we're going to do it twice on here. Okay, and a little back here. And we're done. Now I'm just going to take my oily cloth and wipe down the spring protector or spring cover, the cam. I'm going to clean off and oil the slide lock pin and the guide rod. Wipe down the magazine. I'm going to take the cloth with a little Stricold and just do the feeding fingers real quick. Okay, so putting it back together again. So with the cam forward, I'm going to put it right in front, through the front of the slide, drop it back, kick the cam back. Now, remember what I told you. This spring can only go in one direction. It has an open end and a closed end where it turns back onto itself. The closed end goes on there, and this way you turn it with the spring and it will go right on. It's the opposite way of taking it off. And we're going to put that right in here. This has a little slot in it that fits nicely over the barrel. You put that on. You take your frame, line it up with the slide slots, put this on like that. You can now put in so there we go. Sometimes you have to shake it forward, the cam. It'll fall into place. And put this in. The barrel isn't. There we go. Okay, you can see it line up. The hole is big enough where you can see it line up, and it goes right in like that. Now, you need to get that crescent moon back over this spot, and then you just have to push it straight down. It goes right in. Now you can move this forward. You put in the cam. But when you put this in, there we go. Now I'm going to turn this and move the cam back in front until it locks in place. There. So this small button in the front of the gun should be holding on each, the cam should be fitted perfectly on each side. It works. Safety. Safety works. Backstrap safety works. Slide lock works. Slide works. Fires. There we go. The Rock Island Armory Military Spec 1911 Field Strip, cleaned, lubed, and reassembled. Please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. See you next time.